South Africa guy, and today I have a new knife that I wanted to kind of go over with you guys. This is not a South African knife. This is actually, let's take a look at what I got here. This is the Spyderco Smock carbon fiber now. This is the box that it comes in. It's just a box, so let's go and put that away. What we're really looking at here is the knife itself. So let's take a look at it. And here it is. Pretty cool piece. Designed by Kevin Smock. He is the guy who designed a knife very similar to this. It's called the SK23. And if you guys want to see what that looks like, it's right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's on my phone. So you can see the design is fairly similar to the Smock here. It's almost identical, practically, with the exception of the blade shape. It's more of a Warncliffe style on my phone. So let's go ahead and put that aside. So this is the knife itself. It says it's carbon fiber, but really you want to be very careful of that. The knife is actually 90% G10. So if we look at the scale here, from the bottom all the way up to the, except for the very top thin layer, is carbon fiber. The rest of that is G10. It's got a titanium pocket clip, not deep carry, and this thing is tip-up carry on both sides of the knife. The blade itself is S30V steel. And the blade shape is sort of a, I don't know, like a Warncliffe, almost drop point blade type. And it runs on a button lock. Now, what's unique about this knife is that the detail for this knife is actually on the knife itself. Not on the it's on the actual frame itself, not on the knife. So the way it works is this: if you look inside this knife, I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look inside, you'll see there's a button in there on the inside. And if I press it, that presses the frame lock down. And when you press the frame lock down, the knife can close. And that's pretty much how it works. This is what we call a forward flipper, where the flipper is up at the top. You could just pop it open that way. I think the most comfortable for me is actually either the button itself, because you can open and close it with the button. If I can get my wrist to do it correctly. Yeah, there you go. And then you can close it. So you can open it that way. You can also middle finger flick it easily. You can also use your thumb, right, as well as the flipper itself. So this is a very, very fidgety knife. I like to middle finger flick it myself. It's just a great way to open and close it. Yeah, it's a very fidgety piece. Let's go ahead and put it here on the table so I can do the specs. The specs for this knife, and we'll do some size comparisons too. The specs for this knife are, let's see, yeah, the overall length of the blade is 7.92. The blade length is 3.39 inches. We got CPM S30V steel. The blade closed is 4.53. The edge length is 2.89, and the weight is 3.7 ounces. Really nice. It's a good EDC size carry. The ergonomics aren't bad. They're pretty good, actually. They're pretty good. The jimping on here, it looks like it needs to be a little bit more, maybe more jimping over here, because the way your thumb falls on it, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel correct to me. Like it needs to be a little bit more jimping. It's kind of like landing in the middle of my thumb rather than on the tip of it, which is where I'm used to having it. But I mean, if you guys don't really care about jimping, that's not really much of an issue. But it looks like it's only 3, but it's pretty grippy. Ergonomics are good. I mean, they're not great, but they're good. Pocket clip, there's no hot spots either. I think the star of this whole thing, aesthetically, are these holes here. I do like that. When you close the knife, yeah, you can see the knife. I kind of like that, and then it opens up, and you can see right through the knife. That I like. So the scale, the titanium scale itself, is skeletonized. So you can see that. So whenever they skeletonize titanium, it's for weight, to get the knife to be not as heavy when you're handling it, and that's always good. Yeah, like I said, the action is really great on this one. I do like the forward flipper so that it doesn't peck in your pocket, but like I said, I'm actually more comfortable middle finger flicking it as my choice of deployment, and also the button itself isn't bad either. That's pretty good. You can also, do your thumb, so that's kind of cool. The blade itself has got a really nice hollow grind on it, so that looks really. It's going to be a really good slicer. The blade shape, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. It's sort of like trying to be it's like it's either a Warncliffe style blade or it's a draw point. I don't know, but this knife would be good for piercing. You can do some drawing cuts with this. You can see there's a slight belly, not much, but you can do some drawing cuts on there. Probably the thing that really threw me on this knife, before I do some size comparisons for you, was the choil here. Now, most knives don't even have a sharpening choil, but this one's like overkill. I mean, you've only got this much cutting length on here. It could have gone out maybe a little bit more, out to about here, but to use all of this is not, for a choil, it's just overkill. But I mean, you could put your finger there if you wanted to choke up a little bit more, which would be good. So obviously you can sharpen this, but I mean, as a plus side, you can sharpen it all the way down to the end, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think I'm crazy about that right there. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons so you guys can see the size of this knife. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Hopefully, the way I have the camera angled, I can do this a little bit better. I'm going to push back just a touch, and we'll do some size comparisons. So here it is up against the ZT 0562. Yeah, so there it is up against the 0562. So it's slightly larger than the 0562 ZT. And then we have how about the Spyderco Techno, which is actually a smaller knife. There it is up against the Spyderco Techno. What else have I got in here? Oh, how about this? How about a little illegal knife here, man? The Kershaw Live Wire. There you go. So Kershaw Live Wire is about a 3.4-inch blade. So it's got about an inch over on it. Let's see, we also have the Benchmade Anthem, one of my all-time personal favorites. I'm never letting this one go, especially with the Damascus pocket clip there. So there you go, it's up against a knife that's 3.5 inches. How about a knife that's a little bit closer in its size? How about the Spyderco Sage? So the Spyderco Sage is actually maybe a little bit smaller than than the Spyderco Smock. Yeah, it's about, the blade length is about an inch longer on the Smock. And once again, just so you guys can get a better flavor, let's bring out the ZT back out again. So where this knife falls will probably be like kind of in the medium category. If we put it up against, say, the Spyderco Techno 2 also. I mean, if I put all these three knives together on a table, you can see where the knife falls as far as size-wise. So it's roughly like a medium-sized knife, pretty much, up against the ZT, falling in the middle between the ZT and the Spyderco Techno. So let's put these guys back away. So, I mean, the offering for this knife is it's got some really good qualities. I mean, I do enjoy the action on it. This is kind of like in the middle of being maybe a heavy user knife and good for everyday EDC tasks. I mean, the only thing that's a sore thumb out to me is this choil here, man. That's a lot, man. I mean, I get that if you want to choke up on it, you can, but I mean, give us a little bit more blade, man. I mean, because that's like pretty much killing the whole thing. It feels good in the hand, though. I do like that. I also love the multiple openings on this one. Very, very fidgety. I mean, if you're going to sit there all day and choose a knife to kind of just hang back at home, maybe watch some TV, and you want to, you know, your hand feels kind of fidgety, this is definitely the knife you want to grab for it. Design-wise, I think the two barrel spacers here were probably not necessary. Maybe they would have kept one, maybe put one, maybe move this over into the middle, but definitely there's no reason to have this one here, as, you know, it just kind of breaks up the aesthetic of the knife. I thought it would be, I mean, it would have been much better if it could have been, you know, just the pivot and this one standoff on the end. We're making it a completely open construction. But, you know, whatever. I mean, I think it works, but I just think that aesthetically, it kind of interrupts my eye, that it doesn't look right to me as far as like the way they design the barrel spacers. You know, maybe at least space them out a little bit more so it'll look better. I mean, it's just an aesthetic. Overall, though, I think this is really a great knife. They really made it accessible to open and close. Yeah, really nice. So overall, a really good offering from Spyderco. Also, the main star of this knife, obviously, is that button lock. The design really was more unique than anything I've ever seen on a knife. And ironically, they used, you know, Kevin Smock, who's an industrial designer. One of the things about knife makers is that if the knife maker has some sort of engineering background, you know the knife's always going to be interesting. And this one definitely falls in the interesting category because it is very, very smooth. It's got really nice action on it. And it's not like a compression lock. The button lock does offer, I think, something different in a sense that you just have to press the button as opposed to the compression lock, which I love, by the way. You know, where they have that little clip over there where you would press on that and then the knife would fall shut. But here, it's almost the same action, but where you release the knife is located in a different spot with this button. And I do like that. Plus, I like the fact that, you know, you can do this and then close it, which you can do also on a compression lock, but it might be a little bit more awkward. Whereas with the button, it's much more accessible to do that. So, yeah, I mean, the pocket clip, I think it probably would have been better if they had made it maybe deep carry. But, you know, you take what you can get. I mean, you really don't want to complain too much. The price for this knife is roughly about $209, so what you're getting is it's an excellent knife for the buy. You're getting S30V steel. Oh yeah, there's Kevin's Smock's logo right there. The knife was made in the Taiwan Taichung factory, so you know there's not going to be any issues. Centering is dead on it. Like I said, ergos are good, but they're not great. I mean, but they are. They're good though. They're good. There's no hot spots or anything. Um, for as good as the button lock is, that choil there just really kills me. You know, when I look at that, it's like, what? I could have had like a little bit more blade, man. You know, what are you guys doing with that? Or at least maybe, you know, make it a larger knife. You want to keep the choil, but God, you're taking away a lot of my cutting surface here. But you know, the hollow grind on this looks really great, so it is going to be a really good slicer. The Spyderco hole, you would think it's too small. But, you know, and then, of course, my hands aren't very big. I don't have big hands. But I didn't have a problem accessing it to do either the middle finger flick or even the thumb. None. Yeah. Really good overall piece. So that's it. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say about this knife. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this knife a 7 overall, as far as how good it is. I haven't really used it for, you know, any heavy-duty tests. I just got it today, and I just wanted to do this unboxing for it and give you guys a quick look at it. But I was really curious about the knife because, you know, anything that's got some sort of a mechanism of any time you want to try and check it out. I was considering maybe getting rid of this one, but it looks like it's going to be a keeper. I do like it, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Usually I'll buy a knife and do a video on it and then return it the next day, but this one's going to be a keeper. Yeah, definitely. So that's it for me on the Spyderco Smock, this unboxing. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments or questions, or maybe you thought I might have missed anything, I probably did, because I do all these videos on the fly. I mean, I'm not making any money on my channels. I just do this for fun. Really, really sweet knife. Not too big, not too small. Looks like you're going to have some really good... it's going to be a really good slicer, with the exception of this damn choil that bothers me so much. Other than that, it looks like it's a great knife for just about anything. I think the pocket clip might have... I think I would have enjoyed it more if it were a deep pocket clip, deep pocket clip carry. But in any case, they do make a good pocket clip, so I'm not going to complain about that either. So there you go, the Spyderco Smock, made by Kevin Smock, or designed by Kevin Smock in collaboration with Spyderco. It's a good buy for the price. Yeah, I have no complaints. So that's it for this video. I have got a couple more new knives coming that are custom from South Africa, obviously. I got a knife coming from J.D. Ellis, which was a big surprise because I haven't even paid for that one. He's actually telling me I can pay for it whenever I want. That's a surprise. And then I've got an engraved piece that's coming up in a couple of weeks from Henny Duplessis, so that's pretty exciting. I'm currently trying to get an interview with 2 people that are in the works. One of them is Clyde Challenor, and the other is Open Sea Leather's Michael Blue, because I know you guys like my wallet videos, so I really wanted to interview him. He said yes. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead, you know, because he's a really busy guy. You know, he's making all of our wallet dreams come true, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, check this knife out, the Spyderco Smock. I give it a thumbs up. I think it's a really great piece. You know, even though for me that choil is a sore thumb. Other than that, it's a great knife. I think you're really going to love the mechanism on this thing. It's just fun. It's a very fidgety, fun piece. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great and fantastic weekend. I may do another video tomorrow if I can think of something else. In the meantime, you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.